Thanks, Deepak, and thanks to my fellow panelists, for what they just said about it. And it's nothing too different, which many people can think about, because India is a country of almost 140 crore people, which is a huge population residing in many states, cities, and mostly in rural areas about it. To make any country safe, I'll like it and bring it down to, or atomize it and say, think about it making your house or your organization safe. The previous conversation which was being talked by the earlier panel, earlier presenters were very interesting. They said, security is everybody's job. It's everybody's thought. It's everybody's take. It's everybody's act. And if we talk about over here and we only about few hundred people talk about security and we have to do this and that, I think usse kuch nahi hoga. Because bottom line is simple, if that is what it would have been, then as per 2019 study, we had $600 billion being taken away as part of the ransomware attacks alone. And one thing, two things which never, I would say in pandemic, three things never stopped. One, the supply chain, because we were still eating and getting the food in whatever fashion manner we were getting. The other was your the delivery of the articles, which is in terms of how to reach, even though there was a lockdowns and all that happened. And third, the most important thing, the cyber attacks. They just grew, and they grew by zillions, because 2019 it talked about $600 billion, and then they said it will be about 20% year-over-year CAGR growth about that, and we can easily make it out where it would be 20, because after that pandemic happened and no formal study could happen around that part. Probably to make safer education has been talked about it, and mobility is one part, but look at each connectivity, each way of providing that has also helped India go in a digital way too. Today we can use Paytms, we can use a lot of other means to do our communications, our utility services, and so on and so forth. If that had not been the case, would not have happened. And we are also hearing in next 6 months or maybe prior, we'll have 5G connections. So it is another also way that which helps for educational or awareness campaigns to reach, because if the mobility, which has also transformed your banking transactions and all that part of it, if it can reach that, these awareness campaigns can also reach about it. But probably two aspects to think about. One, awareness, which is we should make everybody aware. How much get they aware with? Because the ones who want to take away, and we have classic examples of Jamtaras of the world and so many of things which happen all the time. Even though after awareness, we also get fooled into that many times. I mean, to press this button because somebody, and I can vouch for that. I think 4 days back, somebody called me up and he called me up and said, I'm just calling from so-and-so bank. I'm not using that bank's name. I'm calling from that. You tell me your OTP number now, because your account is going to get locked and all your money will be lost about it, because that is what it happened. He never knew that he's talking to me or who I am. So he just said this about it. And I said, okay, tell me which account number and all that. And then he gave all the details. So basically he had everything with him. The good part, I said, okay, no worries. You send me an SMS and I'll take care of that. And you know what? He became little rude from his conversations, and then he hung up, and after that the phone was never available to be picked up. So it's happening. It's a cat and mouse game. You try, make aware about it, this is what it is, but then phone jacking starts happening. The OTP jacking is happening about it. So we have to be one step ahead, or we have to be in parallel, create those kind of aspects which allow people to be aware also, but equally to allow seamless part of the services to be consumed, while ensuring that the systems are, I can say there is no system which is impermeable, but equally it is important that systems have that ability which we are providing to start not only protecting but preventing, because corrective actions is later, which is a delayed work about it. So prevention is the cure, not correction. So probably that's where we should start thinking about that.